but the three.
Hi there, I'm Matt Holland and you're watching Irish Football Fan TV.
Hello and welcome to Irish Football Fan TV. This is our fans team of the year. Starting with our goalkeeper. There's a very obvious choice here, but we're going to go through some names and we're going to kind of I think we're all going to be in agreement come the end of it, but we might as well throw a bit of debate in it because we obviously had on our Instagram story, which whoever's on Instagram that's watching would have seen that we put up Instagram stories with basically you guys getting to choose who you wanted to help us have basically a panel to kind of go by, and obviously some honourable mentions. So we have Luke Jennings has joined us in on the show today. Welcome Luke.
Thank you.
So Luke is a huge Shamrock Rovers fan, so there is no Cork or Dundalk fans in here to make it in any way biased whatsoever. So, but he probably going to pick a little bit of acknowledgement of maybe a player that's going further afield toward the end of the season, or are you going to go with one of your guys? Who's your nominations?
Regarding being goalkeeper?
Yeah.
Well, when I look at, obviously Shane Supple comes to mind when you think of it, but if you look at the second half of the season, Alan Manus was outstanding for us. He made a difference defensively. He came in and kept 8 clean sheets in the final third. So really, you could have picked him, but over the whole season, Shane Supple is the man I choose. So.
The man you choose. Well, we're going to go into kind of the panel that we kind of have. There's obviously McNulty at Cork, Gary Rogers, and Supple were the main three that everybody chose. I said to you off air, I thought Alan Manus was very good, and you were like, well, second half of the season, but that's why I kind of give him an honourable mention, because you look at where Shamrock Rovers were before he came in and the problems they were having with goalkeepers. I mean, it started in the first game of the season against Bows with Horgan, Darryl Horgan's brother, playing in goal for us. And for me, and then you had that Polish lad, I can't pronounce
Tomasz Marcinski,
There we go.
Tomasz Marcinski.
Yeah, so
it
seems so easy, doesn't it?
Yeah,
so we'll just get you to voice over us now in future. So
that's it.
We'll just get that. But no, look. Yeah, so you look at where he from where Rovers were and the position they were in, and then kind of the run they kind of went on to finish third. Obviously, Gavin Bazzunu's in there as well, just due to the fact that he got such a mega move out of it, and he's going to stay as well. So for the season, next season, before he does his leaving to
penalty save down at Turner's Cross against Cork is
probably
one of the moments of the season as well. Particularly if you're taking away moments from the top two. I know it's Cork were on the receiving end of it, but that was a moment where everyone kind of stood up and noticed, and it was a moment that kind of went further afield than just the Irish audience. People in England were messaging me, who's this little kid in goal, etc., etc. And I suppose maybe it's the moment that kind of scouts from across the water as well made to kind of stood up and noticed. But like the usual suspects really. I suppose we just kind of spoke off air as well. I think maybe Brendan Clark, since he came back to Pats as well.
Scored a panel.
Scored a panel, very nice.
Yeah, probably honourable mention. But the three big ones are probably you won't find other people that are probably people outside those three,
unless they scored those more.
Perhaps.
More so.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
If you were going down in an order from say third to first, what kind of way would you be looking at?
3-2-1 for me would be McNulty, Rogers, and Supple.
And what about yourself?
Exact same for me. Gary Rogers sort of has been, he used to say in the past, but this season I feel he's really come on leaps and bounds, and he's really been the backbone of that Dundalk team. The defence is already really solid and him in behind, so he really did push Shane Supple tightly, but it's just, as I said, Shane Supple is, in my opinion, out and out best keeper in the league.
It's the fact that, like, of all the players we in that shortlist, he's the one that was. I know it's a shame. We spoke about it a good few times in shows that he didn't make an appearance, but he was the one that was called up to the Irish squad as well. So I think that's really the barometer. Really, all three have had decent seasons, but I think Supple is that just little step ahead, that little bit more X factor.
A bit more class, I suppose.
Yeah, like Rogers, as he said, it's interesting to note. I'm even listening to an interview with Benson during the week where he kind of described Rogers as kind of almost kind of come to life again this season, where he's almost like he's rolled back the years and become into his prime. Yeah, kind of came to his prime again. that's very true. Like, look, put it this way: if you wouldn't really be, you're not going to be complaining if you have Rodgers in your team. You know, he's been excellent all season, but I think Supple for me just about shades it.
Yeah, I don't think Age is on the side either, old Gary. But
yeah, well, look, he's won back the years this year. Yeah, like if it's one more, I suppose, little box for Supple as well, isn't it?
yeah, well, if I was going to go to 3-2-1, and I wanted to kind of cause a little bit of a stir here, but it's kind of not. You can't really twist things on it, really, can we? So, I mean, I think it's fair to say that Supple is the out and out winner. He's had a tremendous season. He was a key part of Bo's run. He had another great game against that team in the Oran Baru Cup.
Yeah, that was kind of Roy the Rover stuff, wasn't it? Was it saved 2 and scored 1, if I'm right?
Something along them lines. But he had a fantastic game with that. Coming from Ipswich, he kind of the fact that he gave up on the game originally because he just didn't like it, which you can check out on our YouTube channel. We did do a video in this very room. But yeah, anyway, from him coming, like, telling Roy Keane he doesn't want to play football anymore, to coming back to playing for Dublin. He was in the All-Ireland winning squad for Dublin, and then, goes back, or he originally came back. The first thing he did when he went back is he trained with Brits. Then obviously he got into the Dublin team. Then it was a case of, come play for Bows, we'll allow you to play the GAA as well. So that was a key factor for him. And then he's just, since he's got back playing, he's just gone up and up and up and up in levels. And if you're a Cork fan or Dundalk fan, I'd be looking going, I'd be doing all I can to get him. But as far as I'm aware, he's very in with both in terms of if they let him do a lot, and he's doing it. As far as I know, he's doing a lot of stuff on the side for Bohemians as well. So I mean, what other, he's a great ambassador in the way he speaks. He's a brilliant speaker. He's a great guy. You do well to find a lot of people that don't like him just because of his attitude. He just wants to play the game and stuff like that. Maybe besides Carl Shepherd, because they had a bit of a Barney there a couple of weeks ago when Cork played them and Bows bet them. But yeah, I think it's safe to say Shane Supple is the out and out goalkeeper of the year in his team of the year.
Yeah.
He got in the main team.
And I think what the point to note is there is a lot of discussion points / debates among other positions. I think this one you'll look at whatever, if it's the PFA team or PFA team even, well corrected, or whoever the caster is. I think you'll struggle to find a team that won't have Supple in goal. He's kind of the unanimous choice, really, isn't it?
Yeah, totally,
and well deserved.
And the fact that he got into the Ireland squad as well. Consider at the time he got into the Ireland squad, weren't doing too well.
Yeah, they've kicked on really very much so since.
The thing is, when you look at Shane Supple at Bohemians, like you think of Mark McNulty and Gary Rogers, they're first and second.
Andy McNulty, if you're on Twitter. My bad.
Yeah, but
in a rush.
They're very experienced, like Damien Delaney and Alan Bennett for Cork, and then you got Sean Hoare and Brian Garner. They're great centre halves, So and Dan Cleary also, yeah. So like you look at Shane Supple, and he arguably, besides their defender, is very young defence. So he's their vice captain. So, as well as being a great keeper, he's a leader, and that really does come to really help at the end of the season, because you look at the run they went on, the semi-final, really, like, was a key part of that. And if he wasn't, you could argue if he wasn't in goals, Bows wouldn't have been anywhere near where they finished off.
Yeah, you only have to see, just to go to Daily Mail, just how much he's idolised by the fans as well.
He won Player of the Year for them as well on Friday, didn't he?
You saw the reception he got from the fans there, and you can see the respect he has in the team. And as I said, I think, to summarise, well deserved.
Yeah, well, like if you disagree, let us know in the comments. But you ain't gonna change this anyway, so
it's
sorry
done.
about that.
Let's deal with it.
Yeah, it's done. Sorry, Rovers fans, and Luke, you're a Rovers fan as well, and you pretty much said that he's your picks. That's in terms of that position. That's our goalkeeper of the year. That's that chosen now. If you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button now, and if you never want to miss a video, click the bell for alerts. For all our other social media platforms, check out this list below. And as always, thank you very much for watching Irish Football Fan TV.